Do good, Maverick Ware. Welcome to podcast episode number 143. You'll probably never be free if you keep selling your time. That's kind of one of the limits to the 9 to 5 rat race. If you're selling your time, then it's very difficult to have time, income, and location independence. I'm not saying it's wrong to have a job. That's not what I'm saying. But if you want freedom, especially time, income, and location independence, it's very hard to get with a 9 to 5 job. And just to be clear, I'm not an expert at this. I'm kind of on the same journey myself. But yeah, when it comes to escaping the rat race, you have some kind of mainstream options, which is retire. But the problem with retiring is that unless you're very old, it usually takes a long time. So if you're going to wait until you're like 67 or 70 until you retire, yeah, it's a long time. And when you retire, you're old. And with the economic system being the way it is, who knows how much your retirement payments is actually going to be. You have another option that this is not really a mainstream one, but there is one thing that people call financial independence, retire early, where people are living extremely cheaply, saving like crazy and investing. Usually they are investing in like an index fund or something like that, where they have around like a 10% ROI. And once they have enough income from that investment to live off of, then they're kind of retiring early. But what I see as a problem with that concept is that oftentimes it's the payments they end up with is oftentimes very low. Because if you have time freedom but very little income, there's still a very high limit. I mean, there's still a very strict limit to the things you can do because you're kind of trapped inside a box of that low economic number. Then I think it's more inspiring to think about. I have a book here, The 4 Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. The subtitle is Escape 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, and Join the New Rich. There's not everything I agree on with Tim Ferriss in this book, especially when it comes to worldview and his view on drugs. But other than that, there's a lot of solid advice in this book. A very controversial book, but also there's a lot of solid advice around effectiveness. But one of the concepts is ideal lifestyle design, a phrase that Tim Ferriss coined. And basically, what he explains is that if you choose what you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have, and in those 3 categories, you choose the most important, like 2 to 3 items or 2 to 3 things in those 3 categories of what you want to be, do, and have. And if you look at the monthly cost for something like that, it's oftentimes a lot less than people think. And what he explains in the book is you can build a kind of lifestyle business that you automate and it's generating that income. So yeah, there's a difference between designing and living your ideal lifestyle compared to what a lot of people are doing in that FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. Financial independence. Yeah, it might be financial independence, but to me it seems like very few of them have financial freedom. So yeah. And the thing is, when it comes to investing in in an index fund where we have around 10% ROI per year, like like a lot of people in the FIRE movement are doing. If you factor in inflation and cost of living, how much that's increasing per year, the real ROI, not on your number, but on your purchasing power, is a lot less. According to some people, if you factor in inflation and cost of living, just per year can be upwards of around 10%. So yeah, there are other options out there. Just to be clear, I'm not an expert at this. I'm kind of on the same journey myself. But when it comes to freedom, one of the things is that a lot of people, they're escaping the 9 to 5 rat race, but very quickly they're finding themselves in their own little rat race. So maybe, yeah, they escaped the 9 to 5, but maybe they entered into a 9 to 12 or something with crazy many hours. Now, hard work is good, laziness is bad, just to be clear on that. But working like 10 to 15 hours per day, every single day, for like decades, is that what most people have in mind when they want freedom from the rat race? Probably not. So when it comes to escaping that 9 to 5 rat race, and if you want to use entrepreneurship as your vehicle or as your way to escape, choosing the right business model is extremely important. Although a lot of businesses, especially online businesses, can be automated, still there is a big difference to how easy it is and how realistically it can be done. And a lot of that just comes down to the business model. And one business or two business models that comes to mind that I think can be great lifestyle businesses and also that can be started with little to no capital is email marketing and an online paid community. Those two. Email marketing, it's like one of the very few things that have consistently been working pretty much since the origin of the internet and all the way up until today. Email marketing. I think it was the Direct Marketing Association that came out with a report that the average ROI on email marketing was like 38x, or was it 42x ROI? You know, that's like 3,800 to 4,200% average ROI. So yeah, email marketing, it's still solid. You hear a lot of people saying that email marketing is dead. Yeah, email marketing is not working. Wrong. Maybe it's not working for them, or maybe they think that they are not reading emails, and because they are not doing it, nobody is reading emails. So email marketing is not working. It's wrong. You need to look at the real numbers. And when it comes to professional online marketers, almost all of them are using email marketing still today. So yeah, email marketing is one. By the way, when it comes to email marketing success stories or email marketing lifestyle business success stories, I'm planning to interview a bunch of them I'm planning to interview 30 success stories like that for terrific30.com. But at the time of this recording, I have not done it yet. But what I am in the process of interviewing success stories for is community cash cows, online paid community success stories. At the time of this recording, I not interviewed all 30 yet, but I've interviewed a bunch of them. And so far, it's been mind-boggling. Actually, one of the guys I interviewed a few weeks ago, these days he was working less than 4 hours per week and making about 18,000 euros in profit per month. So the dream of freedom is possible. At least there are some people doing it, you know. And to me, it seems like when it comes to lifestyle businesses or businesses that provides a lot of freedom, a lot of free time for people, email marketing and paid communities seems to be some pretty legit opportunities. Now, all of the people that are running paid communities or email marketing, all of them are not running them as lifestyle businesses. A lot of those people are working a lot. But the thing is, if you want to, can that business model be used like a form of what I call semi-passive income, something that requires like 2 to 15 hours per week of work? And when it comes to email marketing or a paid community, if you do things right, yeah, I think it's possible. Just to be clear, I'm not an expert at this. I'm basically on the journey myself. So I'm not saying I'm doing it because I'm not, but there are other people doing it. One lady I interviewed, she was making, she said she was making something like $100,000 to $300,000. I think that's what she said in profit per month from her paid community. And she has a concept that she calls her 2 hours of money-making activities. And almost every day she was spending like 2 hours on her main money-making activities before noon. And a lot of that was about content creation. She went live on TikTok and YouTube for like 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. And maybe she also filmed a few short form videos. And maybe there was some other things, but yeah, about 2 hours. And after that, she did not have to do something else. She oftentimes did do something else, but that was what she had to do. So yeah, fascinating. So yeah, paid communities. You know, in my notes, I have this quote by Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. A lot of truth to that one. It doesn't mean that you don't want to work, but you know, there's a time and place for more freedom, semi-passive income. So yeah, paid communities. Most people running paid communities are running them like subscription businesses where you pay per month to be a member. And if you think about it, depending on your depending on your price, but you need like 30 to 300 members, and you can have like $10,000 in profit per month. If you have 30 members paying you $500, that's like $15,000 in revenue. Then you should probably be at over $10,000 in profit. If you have 300 members paying you $50 per month, that's like $15,000 per month in revenue. Then you should probably be at, yeah, over $10,000 in profit per month. These are like rough numbers, but you get my point. So you don't need like millions of members or something crazy. And when you think about it this way, how many opportunities are out there for different kinds of paid communities. You know, businesses, industries, niches, categories. You can look at what kind of Facebook groups exist, what kind of offline masterminds, clubs, and communities have existed. You know, there's literally thousands of industries, niches, categories out there where a paid community online basically doesn't even exist. Where if you built one, it could be of tremendous value for a lot of people. And if you're building a high ticket one, like $500 to $1,000 per month, if it is a very elite or exclusive group, you don't need many members to get to 5 figures per month. Or if you build a lower ticket one, like a few hundred members, and you could be free from the rat race, you know. And if you get your churn rates low enough, you know, churn when it comes to subscription businesses is basically a word describing how long people stay a member. So if you have a high churn rate, people are canceling their memberships very quickly. But if you have a low churn rate, people stay a member for a pretty long period of time when they become a member. So yeah, if you have a low churn rate, people stay a member for long. If you just get a few sales per month, you know, maybe 50 sales, 100 sales. If that was a different business, if you're selling something like a physical product or a one-time sale online, maybe you sold something like an online course, you probably had to make the same amount of sales every single month in order to get the same income every month. So maybe you needed like 300 sales to make $20,000 in profit. If you made that month in January, for example, now February came along. Now you have to do the same thing, make 300 sales to make $20,000. But my point is, if that was a subscription business where you got 300 members, now if you only made like 100 members, I mean 100 sales, you got 100 new members per month, and you had a low churn rate, so people stayed a member for long, you might grow like crazy. So yeah, that's another advantage. Two businesses can make the same amount of sales. One of them is stagnant because it's one-time sales. The other one is growing like crazy because it is a subscription business. And it's also a lot more reliable and predictable to have a subscription business compared to a business that only sells one-off sales. But of course, you can kind of look at it different ways. The business that only sold one-time sales, if it has a great strategy of building its email list and systems for selling it, it can still have a lot of reliability and predictability as well. But you can also have an email list and a system for a subscription business as well. So yeah, it's definitely an advantage to a subscription business. And it's also really exciting how much value you can provide to people through a paid community. Imagine all the problems that can be solved, and all the connections, collaborations, joint ventures, things like that can also be done for people in a paid community. So yeah, I guess that's it for this podcast episode. If you are considering that maybe building a paid community could be your way of escaping the 9 to 5 rat race, maybe it could be something for you. Like I mentioned, the last few weeks I've been interviewing a bunch of real life success stories of people that are making at least $10,000 in profit per month from running a paid community. So if you want to learn from those real life success stories and also connect with other people that are building a paid community, go to communitycashcows.com. Imagine. Now, just to be clear, I'm not an expert at this, but other people are doing this. So yeah, imagine making like 5 figures or multiple 5 figures in profits per month, while at the same time having to work, but also having a lot of freedom. Maybe you only needed like 2 to 15 hours per week of work. Now, when you're building something, it's probably going to take a lot more work than that. But when it's already built, then if you're doing things correctly, yeah, then for some people, it is possible to run it with few hours. Of course, no guarantees for that, but what one man can do, another man can do. So yeah, just imagine the kind of lifestyle you could squeeze out of 5 figures or multiple 5 figures in semi-passive income per month. It's interesting. Maybe the dream of freedom doesn't require millions of dollars. Maybe you can do it with like 5 figures or multiple 5 figures in profit per month. Interesting. And maybe a paid community could be it. If you want to learn from those real life success stories, go to communitycashcows.com. Take care and God bless.